Going into W131, I thought it was going to be pretty easy because I've always had a pretty easy time with English throughout like high school and other classes. So I thought it was going to be pretty easy, but shortly after I started the class, I realized that I had a lot to learn and my writing from high school is a little bit elementary compared to what it should be. So I learned a lot throughout this class and it has really helped me with my writing skills and just overall the knowledge of English. So for the second half of the semester, it was a little bit more difficult than the first, personally is what I think, because our papers were research-based rather than a little bit more creative. So all of our papers had tons of research and that's all we had to do for the papers. And I really struggled with that just because I hate research and it just takes so much time. We wrote the annotated bibliography as well as the synthesis paper. So as far as the annotated bibliography went, we had to summarize, evaluate, and then connect it to the topic, which I had never really thought about before, so it really helped me like analyze the source and completely understand it so I could tie it into my topic, and it was really, really helpful. Also, for my annotated bibliography, it made it so I had really quick access to the information, and I had it already analyzed and summarized and connected with my topic. So it was really cool because I had never really thought about that before, and it really helped me understand the papers that I was reading. I also had to decide if my annotated bibliography was going to be descriptive or evaluative, and I never really thought of those two either, and it really helped me understand what an annotated bibliography was, and I had never really fully understood what it was before. So as far as the synthesis paper went, it helped me to learn how to put different sources together to clearly explain my topic in my thesis. And like I said, for the synthesis paper, we used our annotated bibliography to assist in writing it, and it was really cool because I had such quick access to the information from an annotated bibliography, and I had never thought about that as being a helpful thing for writing papers. So I'm really glad we did the annotated bibliography to help with the synthesis paper. Also, throughout the semester, we had to learn how to do the proper APA formatting and to format a paper. The coolest part about the APA format, I think, is because I've always done MLA and I've always just put it in the generator, but we actually went over and learned how to fully understand what the APA format is, and now I can do it on my own without the generator, and I think that's really cool because I actually understand how it works. We also learned how to correctly analyze articles, which I thought I knew how to analyze articles and summarize them pretty well, but this class has taught me that there's a lot more to it than what I thought there was, and now I can really completely analyze articles in the source. Also, whenever we were choosing the article, we had to make sure the source included appropriateness, credibility, balance, and timeliness. And those are just 4 factors I never thought about whenever choosing a source. We've always been told the credible source, but we've never talked about the 3 other components, and it's really helped me get a good source for my paper. We also reiterated throughout the class how to write a thesis statement, and again, I thought I knew how to do that pretty well, but this class has taught me that there's a lot more to it, and I think I've definitely been able to create better thesis statements after taking this class. So overall, I think my strengths for English are creative papers, just because I'm more of a creative person and it's just easier for me. And as well as the grammar aspect of writing papers, I'm pretty good at grammar, so that comes easy to me, and I think those are my best qualities for writing. And then as far as my weaknesses go, is researching. It's just hard for me to find sources and analyze them, but after this class it's helped me a little bit. However, it's still one of my weaknesses, and I also have trouble with repeating myself throughout my papers a little bit. And learning how to analyze and combine sources throughout the class, I think, will help me through any writing I do, or even in regular discussion in everyday life, just because I can really analyze articles or analyze things that people are saying, just because I know how to properly go through and analyze. So as far as the class goes, overall I would definitely recommend this class to anybody. It's definitely a great class, and I definitely didn't know how much I was going to learn when I took this class. I learned a lot more than I thought I would, and I thought I knew a lot more than I did when I went into the class, just because I did so well in high school. I thought I just knew a lot about English, but it really taught me a lot. However, I wish that the classes were split into 2 days rather than 1 3-hour class per week. I wish it was 2 days a week and like an hour and a half, just because it's so hard to focus for 3 hours straight. And being in the computer lab, it was hard to concentrate just because you were behind the computer. So I would suggest it being like a regular classroom, just so you could be more focused maybe. But maybe if it isn't 3 hours long, it'd be harder to get distracted, so I don't know. But overall, I definitely would recommend the class, and I enjoyed the class, and I learned a lot more than I thought I would. So